Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in, Mythburo/Serial. How are you doing? And also, Text is cryptid. Serial. I hope you don't mind if I just accidentally keep calling you Serial. But anyway, can you give that Texas cryptid a shout out, please? I caught just a little bit of their stream yesterday. They're a food and drink streamer, and they make the most interesting stuff. So yesterday was like a mushroom extravaganza, I guess you could say. I'm sorry you guys are all having so much heat, though. I do feel that. It has not been, I can't complain about heat here in Hawaii. I mean, it's temperate all year round. It's been hotter than usual, but it's not, it's not on the level that most of you folks on the mainland are dealing with right now. So yeah. So we're gonna do another side-by-side comparison today because that's what was in my tea box, my tea subscription box from Mountain Stream Teas. These are the mystery teas for the month of June. And actually, I haven't gotten another box since June. My subscription was just for the 3 months of April, May, June. So I'm thinking about, whether I should go forward with that, although all the quality of all the teas have been like really, really great quality and different stuff. I'm good. How are you? And yes, absolutely. I don't mind at all. I still really like the name Serial. Just change it for convenience. Oh, yeah, no, because I know you want it to match up with your Instagram. Also, is the music too loud? It's a little bit prominent in my headphones, but I can't quite tell if it's too loud for anyone else. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear you guys are hanging in there okay. What did I do? I'm trying to do something here and it looks like did I clear the chat? I sure didn't mean to. There we go. I was looking to do a shout out for that Texas cryptid. I cleared chat, yes. My cursor was like on that from, I don't know, an hour ago or something. So I didn't mean to clear you guys' chat. I hit enter or something and it cleared the chat. So sorry about that. Anyways, I guess we weren't saying anything like absolutely crucial, but my camera does seem to be moving around a lot. So if I can just put you guys on hold for just a second, I'm going to go sadly close a window that I think is causing the problem, or at least mostly close it. And then we can have like a little bit less swaying. So hang in there for just a second. And thanks for your feedback on the music too. And then we can talk about like snacks and what we're going to do today. So just one moment. Okay, that should help. Yes, it already does help. Meme Kid 17, welcome in. How are you? Good to have you with us. I don't remember you from before, but I didn't get an alert that this was your first chat, so you've probably been here before and I just forgot. I apologize, but let us know what you like to be called. Okay, so as you can sort of see, oh, Blueberry's here and resubscribe. 21 months. Have some cake, Blueberry. Oh my gosh.
Howdy.
Howdy. Howdy to you too. The length of time that some people have had subscriptions here is like mind-boggling because I don't even feel like I've been streaming that long, but you know, here we are. So thank you again for all the support. I am going to turn the music down just ever so slightly. There we go. More because I think it's distracting to me. I love it, of course. Almost all our music is from Johnny Daly. But it was distracting me. Memes is fine. Okay, great. Well, good to meet you or have you back, whichever is the case. So before we get started, as is our sort of recent custom, let's draw a Woodland Warden's Oracle card, and then we'll just kind of set it up on the side as kind of a guardian or mascot or however you want to think about it for this stream. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle that. So yes, as I mentioned today, we're going to do another side-by-side comparison. So the setup is almost exactly the same as last week. It's not what I usually do, but I have as close as I can come to like equal-sized teaware. And, you know, we'll just brew these two teas side by side and see how they compare. And I'll explain a little bit more when we get the teas out. But they're basically two of the same type of tea from Taiwan, but one is sort of in a younger stage than the other one. One is more finished and the other one is more unfinished, because that was kind of the theme of the tea club this month. Okay, so this is pretty well shuffled. And we're just going to randomly cut here. Turn this over. Oh my, okay, something, again, new, kind of. New for this stream, the duck and chrysanthemum. And it's in reverse, it's upside down. I'll go ahead and turn it over just so we can look at it. It is card number 10. And it says, luck. I know, I like chrysanthemums. I like ducks. We were just talking about ducks the other day, like yesterday, that they were kind of like smarter chickens. Or smarter than chickens. Okay. Let's take a look. The duck's wings are so cool. I know, look at the colors. I should hold it a little bit more still so you guys can see that. I mean, all of these cards are so gorgeous, but they are a little different from each other in terms of whether the background is kind of dark or bright or, they almost have different feels to them. So this is what this one looks like. And then here's the guidebook, which has got a black and white copy of the picture on here. And it says the meaning is luck. The phrase lucky duck isn't just a light-hearted rhyme. Ducks can be symbols of good fortune. In ancient Egypt, ducks were associated with riches, especially gold, and frequently given as offerings to the gods. Likewise, chrysanthemums bursting forth with long and elegant petals signify abundance. Luck can be a fickle and mysterious force, but it is also, as Roman philosopher Seneca once mused, what happens when preparation meets opportunity. I really feel that in my own life. Anyway, let me read the rest of it and then I can just muse for a second. If we had drawn this upright, it would say, you are on the brink of good fortune. Be open to situations that may bring about positive transformation. But today I actually drew it this way, which means take care to get your ducks in a row. Do some research before taking action to avoid a misstep. And the thoughts at the bottom are, how can I prepare for the future? Is destiny mutable or set in stone? So that's the duck. And we'll probably turn it right side up just for display purposes. But this card is telling me to get my ducks in a row before I make a change or something. I'm definitely the kind to not do research or take care, really. Billy Blueberry. I really am very. I am definitely the kind of person to really consider my decisions. I mean, forget for better or for worse. Like I can also have that analysis paralysis that you hear people talk about. I lean on the impulsive side. Yeah. That can be good too, though. I mean, spontaneous can be good. Yeah, so the thing that they said about luck, I've never really heard it, I guess, spelled out that way, but that's exactly how I feel about luck in my life. I remember telling my mom a long time ago that I'm the luckiest person in the world. Of course, that was decades ago. I'm not sure I feel that way anymore, but, youth, what are you going to do? But it was, and she even said something like, well, you say that you're lucky, but I think that you've worked hard for what you have. So, yeah. So preparation meets opportunity equals luck. I 100% agree with that. So anyway, yeah, so that's our card. It'll be keeping us company today. Let me go ahead and show you some foods. I'm a little light on the snacks this week, but I have an empty plate in the back to remind me to bring something out of the freezer later. So we're actually going to have another item back there. Cereal says, I'm not impulsive very much. Like sometimes I am, but usually that is an outlier that should not be included. Like usually just impulsive for small things. Yeah. Well, you know what? You two are probably good partners then. Because there's something to be said for, for both ways of being, right? I haven't showed this off lately, but this is a matcha tin, in case you're wondering what this is in the back. It has two sides to it. So you probably see it on my streams very often. This is like the fall side. And it looks like there's like a tiny bit of winter and then a little bit of spring here. And then, this is the summer side. So I have it on the summer side right now. I almost never drink matcha. So it's really just, there's matcha in this, but it's probably incredibly old. Oh, hey, Dan Marinoff must die. Welcome in. Hi there. So this is a Japanese matcha holder. This lid is not nearly as tight as I would like, but it does kind of seal. And then, of course, you should keep your matcha in a foil bag anyway. So there is matcha in here. It's probably ancient. I'm really embarrassed, but, I keep the tin out because it is very pretty. And when you close it, you can feel like air is trying to push through it. So anyway, so that's what this is over here. And then the top is like an umbrella, parasol, or a paper umbrella. Cool, right? The detail's so pretty. Yeah, and I like that I actually keep it out on display in my living room on top of my tea cabinet furniture piece. And I have kind of like a rotating seasonal display up there. And so I just turn this around. So it's out all the time. So that's what that is in the background there. And then tropical fruit. I did find some. It's mountain apples again. You guys, some of you may remember what was at least a month ago that I got some mountain apples and it was too early and they weren't mature. They weren't ripe. They were kind of white. Those little guys look so funky. Well, the thing is, the riper they get, the kind of obviously redder, but the funkier they look. I think the most memorable thing about them was the ants that came running out of one when I bit into it. And I didn't show that on screen, but I kind of was like, yikes. Like dozens of ants came running out of the center of one of them. So that was them. But they're the same fruit, but they looked kind of white, light pink, and even green, almost like celery. So this is what they look like when they're properly ripe. Yeah, you remember now, right? Let me just pull one up here. But they do get a little funky. Like this one here's gone a little bit bad on the top. So I brought a paring knife so, I can cut off any bad spots. But I don't know. I get this whole bag for like $5 or something. And they looked, well, I couldn't quite see inside the bag. I couldn't see everything that was going on in there. As is, common with bagged produce. It's all just kind of in there. But I got some good examples that look pretty good. They're neat looking. Yeah, these are. And then the bottom, looks a little gnarly. But again, these are the riper ones. They're incredibly thin-skinned. And you can see the top has gone almost like a little bit bad there. I'm going to cut that part off or just not eat it. These are incredibly thin-skinned. Like the thinnest skinned, cucumber or something of that sort. And so they just bruise really easily. They just start to deteriorate right away. But they're strangely crisp inside. So they do kind of really remind me of a cucumber. But like a very delicate one. So these are from, I can do a quick Wikipedia. These are from an ohia flower. Ohia trees are very common in Hawaii, but this one actually produces the fruit. I don't think they all do, but they produce flowers, which are the island flower for the big island of Hawaii, I believe. This one has like a flower petal stuck in the bottom. I don't know if you can quite see that, but the flower is still attached. A little bit of something there. So these are called mountain apples. They have other names, but in Hawaii, we just usually call them mountain apples. Sometimes we call them ohia apples. Yeah, let me just do a quick Wikipedia for you guys. I think I also saw that they were called Malay apples. Mountain apple. Yeah. So I'll show you this. And also, I've got me on the screen capture now, so you're not so lonely. And here's what they look like. More photos. Here's what they look like on the tree. So hi, everybody. I'm here. I'm a little plain today. I just have like a pink, t-shirt on. Kind of simple. But here's all the pictures. Here's what they look like inside. Although, you're probably going to see that pretty soon. And this is what the flower looks like. There's this explosion of sort of chrysanthemum-like. The ones that we had a while ago were kind of in this greener stage here. There's different varieties, though. I think there's some that are even pink inside. I don't think that's what we have today. I think we just have like your very standard ones. You like the little camera? It works out because when I'm doing like a screen share, I'm actually looking at my laptop. So I'm actually facing the camera most of the time. Although then I read my chat over here. But anyway, hi. And then there's some other thing called a mountain rose apple, which is just a regular apple. It's not the mountain apple. So anyway, I just thought you might like to see what they look like. They are Syzygium malacense. I guess that means Malay apple. So that's that. So go back to the table. Do they taste like apples? They are, I'm curious what like, Wikipedia would say about that. But I think they taste like, here we go. The screen capture, screen share. I feel like they taste more like a very light pear. When they're nice and fresh, they're really, really watery and juicy inside. Again, kind of reminding me more of a cucumber. But I think the ones I got here might be a little bit past. Well, I grabbed one and tried it, and it tasted good, but it was kind of dry. So we'll see. But yes, at their best, at the right ripeness, they're like super refreshing. They've got a lot of water in them, and they're like a very, very light, watery pear flavor. And the texture is almost kind of like between an apple and a dried apple. And what else? They have a rosy They have a rosy taste or aroma to them. So I think I've described to people like who first ask me what they, sorry about all these ads. You know how it is when you just like randomly search something. When I started to describe it to people at first, I said something like, it's like eating a pear from far away while smelling a rose. So they have a very light, oh, there's the flowers again. They have a very light pear flavor, but watery. They're slightly crisp, and I'll have one right now, and then we can go on. Okay, so that's kind of a quick overview of the mountain apple. Yeah, they look like little pears. So let me just grab one. I'll take this here as small. This one's kind of looks dried out, I will say. And I put them in remember the mega mug? I put them in the giant mug because I didn't have like another, well, I had bowls, but you know, this just seemed like the right size bowl and it's fun. It really shows off the red color. So today we kind of have a red theme going on. I have a strawberry pastry over there. So yeah, this guy looks a little scarred up. He's a little, what does it remind me of? Oh, squash or something, the shape. The bottom is a little, I don't know, sunburned maybe, but let's go ahead and just try one. Yep. You could probably hear in the microphone, it was kind of juicy and crisp. Focus, focus. So yeah, these are really perishable. I can't imagine them ever being shipped anywhere, to be honest, because they're just good, like, for such a short time. Let's see if I can describe to you. The skin tastes vegetal. Like a leaf. Couldn't say what kind of leaf. So when you bite through the skin, you get like leaf. Then you get a little burst of juice. Water, really, but juice. And then the texture's kind of, I'm trying to think. There's a little astringency to it, like it dries your mouth out. Which is weird because it's also really juicy. But the texture reminds me a little bit of, oh gosh, this is tough. It's not like much of anything else, honestly. These are just great for if you actually are just like out. Not that I go hiking anymore, really, but you know, if you were hiking and you found these, you know, and you were able to just eat them right away, they'd be very refreshing. Or you could take them with you. I like them cold because of the water content. The texture inside is a little bit fibrous. I'm just trying to think of a comparison. Also, look, no ants. But yeah, juicy. And there's definitely a floral, like a rose aspect to them. Very unusual.
Tea time.
Hey, welcome in. Soy Vikingo. I love that name. I'm not sure what it means, but it's very cool. Welcome in and thank you for the follow. Let us know if you have any questions. We have not gotten to the tea yet today. We're still talking about tropical fruit and other snacks. So this is a mountain apple that I'm just kind of slowly eating while we talk about it. But welcome in. So again, this one didn't look that good, but it tastes really good. It's at, maybe the peak of it would have been 2 or 3 days ago, maybe. So it's a little dry, but they don't look that pretty when they're ripe enough. Yes, they are a cute little snack. Also, this one didn't even have a pit. Sometimes they do, but I kept expecting to hit like a center seed, and this one didn't have that. Okay, good. So, hola, soy Vikingo. Do you actually speak Spanish? I can probably accommodate that. Clumsily, but still could. I could do my best. Dan Marinoff must die. I can't remember. That would be. I've forgotten. Shoot, I didn't make a note of the name. Is it Anna? Anyway, they speak Spanish. And we seem to be doing okay. Okay, so that's the fruit. There's plenty more where that came from. And then right across the front, that is Anna. Thank you. No, it's patchouli. Patchouli Aki is Anna, right? Yes. I have completely forgotten. I supposedly made a name, but a note, but it didn't come up. Or else I thought I would remember. I apologize, everybody. Anyway, do tell me what you like to be called, and I will make a note. I promise. Okay. So on to the pastry, which is just being extremely red over here. I've never had this before. I'm kind of scared of it. It's called strawberry tiramisu. And he thought it was a cross section of dark watermelon. It was really expensive, guys. I hope it's great. Maybe I'll just eat part of it, put the rest back in the fridge. But it does seem to have kind of a front and a back. So this kind of looks like the back. You can see these smudges all over this plate because when I transferred it to the plate, whatever this red powder is very, very red. And it's like I couldn't get it off the plate. It really stuck. But it is really something, isn't it? So I said, well, can you describe this to me? And he said, it's not like regular tiramisu where it's coffee and chocolate. He talked about the base of it being like a cookie dough. I've had, not like a raw cookie dough, but like a cooked. I've had various pastries from this local French bakery that have this cookie base. And then you can kind of see like I sure don't want to turn it over, but you can kind of see there's a chocolate ganache lurking in there. And that's what's sticking the pastry to the cookie base. And it was really the only way I was able to move it was because of that base. And then he rattled off a few other things that are inside. And I frankly, I don't remember anymore. He said ladyfinger soaked in orange syrup, which I was like, sold. I'll take it. But the rest I don't remember. So we'll try this out. And I think this is a piece of white chocolate. And then the rest is fresh berries. And they're stuck on by like dark chocolate. So it is pretty stunning, isn't it? And then like I said, I don't know what this red powder is. But some of it came off while I moved it. And it was is very, very like stuck to the plate. And very like it dyed my fingers. So whatever it is, it's potent stuff. And I'm just proud that I didn't wreck it on the way home. I was really careful with how I carried it. So anyway, that's what we're going to get into later. Maybe not too much later because it is like a refrigerator thing. I think the white slice is a piece of white chocolate, blueberry. Yeah, I think it's like a half a disc of white chocolate and then they just like jammed it in there. I don't know if they cut a slit in there, if they just jammed it, but it doesn't look like it's smushed. So they probably cut, made a cut and then slid that in there. Not sure, but yeah, that's, it's not fruit. And then you'll probably remember these from past streams. I didn't have a lot of different snacks available today. These are coconut bites or organic coconut bites. They really are coconut macaroons. And I think they'll go well with the kind of tea that we're drinking today. And then even also this, it's so shiny, passion fruit tart. I had this once, we bought a whole big bag of these at Costco and didn't actually care for it. But again, I think with the tea we're drinking today, it'll be pretty good. It's very sweet and it's not actually very passion fruity. Frankly, it could be a pineapple tart or anything else, but it's supposed to be a passion fruit tart. So those are kind of really sweets. And then these are all the gluten-free pretzels I have left. But they are nice and crunchy, and they stay crunchy, so they're a great addition. And they're probably the only salty thing I have today. And then, like I said, there's another empty plate in the back for something out of the freezer, which we can bring out a little bit later. Let's kind of nibble one of these right now. That's why we don't have more of those left, because I can't resist them. Okay, so that's the snacks for the day. It's a pretty good lineup. So I've got my side-by-side set up again today with, like I said, the closest, similar sized gaiwans. The pitcher size doesn't matter, the size of the pitchers. And then the same, exact cup, so I can kind of compare things. Got scissors to open those with. Here's my tea box. And then a couple of the closing, sealing pins, because I don't think we're going to use all 10 grams of each tea today. So here's the lowdown on the teas today. These are the mystery teas, actually. These are the mystery teas. And there is somewhere in the bottom of that box, there's the answer, which I have not opened, I swear. You guys can tell from my last two debacles with the mystery teas that I really don't open the answer package because I miserably failed both times. So, okay, so the mystery tea. This month's mystery teas are pretty easy to tell apart. Even though they are the same cultivar and growth, are grown in the same area. One is a beautiful finished oolong from the winter. The other is a fresh, unfinished mao cha from a lower elevation that we will roast ourselves. When you try these teas, see if you can pick out all the differences between a fresh, unfinished raw tea and one that has been expertly produced, finished, and left a couple months to come into its own. Both could be labeled as Alishan milk oolong. So it sounds like when I open these, it's going to be obvious from the look of it which one is which. Oh yeah, Mythborough is 71% steeped. I need to do that too. I haven't done that in ages. We have some fun commands that we never use anymore. And if you want to know what they are, just type in exclamation commands into the chat, and then you'll see what we've got. A number of things in there. I personally like exclamation jam a lot. There's also exclamation hype. Of course, there's the shout out. There's anyway, there's a bunch of them, so you can check it out if you want. Yeah, drum. Exactly. All right, so let's open these. And I think it sounds like I'll be able to tell on site which one is the finished one and which one isn't. They're both labeled Alishan milk oolong. And by the way, if you're... Oh, Texas Cryptid is only 34% steeped. Well, hopefully we can take care of that. If you're not familiar with milk oolong, there's no milk in it. It's not milk flavored. It's just what they are. It got that name because the tea has a very rich, buttery, and even sort of milky texture to it. I don't even know if... I wouldn't say it's even milk flavored. But anyway, there are cheap knockoffs that actually add like a milk flavor to it, or they just are trying to enhance. I shouldn't insult, cheap teas, but there are ones that they just try to enhance that, and they'll add actual milk flavor, whatever that consists of. So the brewing instructions are 5 grams per 100 milliliter. So our gaiwans here are 150 milliliters. So we'll put in about 7 grams of tea, or about 2/3 of the sample. No, about 3/4, somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the sample. It does say boiling water. I usually only keep my kettle at about 208, but that's close enough. 30 seconds for the first steep, and then add 10 seconds thereafter. Though you could totally brew any of these teas what we call Western style, which is just, in a mug or a teapot for 1 to 2 minutes. So you don't have to do any kind of tea in any particular style. It's just whatever you like. You can even cold brew these in cold water in the refrigerator overnight. This kind of tea would be very good that way. All right. Well, looking into the packages, I actually can't really tell the difference. Okay. I'm going to pour some out into cup because I only have the one. And I'm going to pour the entire sample into each cup here. So this is a good way to compare them. I didn't have two of these little vessels here, these little tea display trays here. I might be able to tell by smell. Okay, so A on the left has a lot more fragrance than B on the right. That much I can tell just in the dry leaf. Okay, the water's coming back up to temperature. I'll go ahead and warm up both of the gaiwans only because we're supposed to use, boiling water. They're so green, it almost looks a tiny bit blue even. Yes, you got that right. To the eye, they do have a bluish green cast. And it's funny that you had mentioned that because the word for oolong, the Chinese word for oolong is actually another way of, you know how we talk about there's white tea, red tea, black tea, yellow tea. Oolong tea is often known as, I think you pronounce that chung, but it's neither blue nor green. It's kind of a word that means green. It's not green tea, green like green, what you think of as green tea. It's this. So isn't that interesting? Okay, let me see again what they're talking about here. See if you can pick out the differences between a fresh, unfinished tea and one that has been expertly produced, finished, and left a couple of months to come into its own. So far, and they're also saying they haven't roasted this. So far, I'm noticing that one has a lot more fragrance in the dry leaf than the other. And that is A. And then also, because I shouldn't drink all of both of these teas, I brought my jug out again that we used last week to put all the excess in. It's like a 1,000 milliliter pitcher. It's got water in it because I rinsed it. And it can be used as a teapot. It has a strainer side of the lid and just a pouring side of the lid and a sealing side of the lid here, but it holds 1,000 milliliters is about a quart. I know we're not going to get that much probably, but yeah, this is so handy. It's actually been in my fridge since last week. And then there was a little bit of tea left from last week. I dumped it out. Okay, water's getting a little bit warm. So I'm just going to warm up these gaiwans. Let's see if I'm able to operate left-handed today. It's just that I have to lean in so far. So you're going to see the back of my head. Apologies for the repeated view of the back of my head, especially to grab it with the left hand. Actually kind of looks like the side of my head. Okay, it's okay. So TA is already in there. I put the lid on right away to trap the fragrance, you know, and have for the moisture to release the fragrance. So I'm just going to close this up. Just putting the excess back in the... It looks like I could use a little bit more. The only thing I didn't do for precision is to weigh them. You know, like if I really wanted to try to be scientific about it, I would weigh the amount of tea. I used to do stuff like that, but I don't anymore. Oh, hey, welcome back, Bug Kitten. I've been on Twitch on evening waiting for a stream like this to go live. Oh, all evening? Thank you for coming in. Good to see you again. So now I'm just going to rinse out my cups because I had the dry tea sitting in them. Yeah, welcome in. I hope it's what you wished for. We're just getting to the tea right now. We were talking about snacks and other things. We have some interesting fruit today. We'll get back to that in a little bit. We have some pastry. That's the first time I'm even seeing it. That's what that bright red thing is in the back there. Okay, so I'm giving it a little shake to release even more fragrance from the, you know, now it's a steamy. You can also smell the lid of the gaiwan, which smells different. It has a different fragrance than what's inside. One thing I'm noticing about this is that there's white. I'm trying to turn it so you can see. I'm wondering if this is the unfinished tea because there's actually white. Do you see that down at the bottom part of the screen there? There's like some white tips that are very white. And I don't think I've ever seen that in a fully finished tea before. Usually that would either turn gold or silver or brown. But that's white as can be. I saw another tea streamer today and recommended her here. Oh, that's interesting, Bug Kitten. Can you let me know who that was? Because I am not familiar with that many other tea streamers on Twitch. Anyway, yeah, so that's that white is really catching my eye, and I don't think I've ever really seen anything like that in a rolled oolong tea. At first I went looking like, is that flowers or what is that? Is that mold? God forbid. Like, what's going on there? But it looks like it's the white part of the bud. Okay, now this one's been sitting in here for a while. Give it a little shake, shake. This isn't quite fair because the gaiwans are different color inside, but... Red Lotus Eric, hi y'all, only dropping in for a bit before bed, but happy I caught it. Well, thank you. Welcome in. We're just getting to the tea right now. So this one doesn't quite have that whiteness. I'm going to guess just on visual that this is the more finished of the two teas. The one that's been, you know, dried out to reduce moisture and all of that. Which is interesting because I'd said the one on the right was more fragrant, but it could be that it's just, you know, it's releasing its fragrance because usually rolled oolong doesn't like hit you over the head with the fragrance right away. So that's interesting. All right, well, let's put some water on these guys. I'm not going to bother with a rinse, you know, just quickly pouring it back out. Again, with Taiwanese teas, most of these I don't really find that I need to. Okay, I'm allowing just a little bit of time here because I don't think I'm going to be able to pour double-handed, so there's a few seconds in between TA and TB. She's called Gertie Hurdy. She also does calligraphy. Oh, well, that sounds like a really great pairing as well. Of two, you know. Well, I love that. I'll check her out. Good distraction. I hurt my foot somehow real bad this week, so I've been pretty much bedbound. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Red Lotus Eric. I hope you get better soon. Yeah, I'm going to take a moment to follow Gertie Hurdy because I'm very curious. See how I can do that. Maybe just copy paste. Just a moment. I'm going to let that tea cool for just a second anyway. How do you do this? How do you Twitch? I don't know how to be a Twitch user and a Twitch streamer at the same time. Doesn't seem to work. Oh. Cozy games and cozy hobbies. Okay. Awesome. Followed. Happy to spread the love. No idea what I did. It's cramped and bruised up real bad. I think I just dehydration or something. I didn't even do anything. Say that I know of. Oh, that's awful. I have, I'm getting a bit older. Everyone knows that now. Oh, hey, welcome in, Snake Cobretti. Hey, y'all. Hey, yourself. Thanks for coming in. How did you find us? Anyway, I was just saying I'm older too, so I wake up with like unknown, like, how did I get like this? Just like every day. Or, once a week. Like, what did I do? How, why is it like this? So I feel you, Red Lotus Eric. Okay, we definitely have a darker color on tea B, which again does kind of lend me to think that it's the more finished of the two, but let's give a sip to each one. Do you guys know each other? Might be flat out arthritis from my mom. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. I have like weird mystery pains. We both follow Buddhist priest plays. Oh, cool. I noticed they followed me the other day too. So it's like going around. And I appreciate the support. Yeah, they followed me 6 days ago. So a week ago. It's just cool. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. I appreciate that. I might not catch all of it, but please, do. But yeah, thank you very much. We hang in some of the same streams. That Texas Cryptid promoted you in their stream once. Yeah, I popped in yesterday too, and they mentioned me then as well. And I appreciate all of it. Okay, so this one is mild. I don't want to use the word weak because that would kind of imply that it taste watery or something. But I am already going to guess that is the unfinished tea. And that this is the finished one, although I haven't even sipped it yet, but we'll see. Weak sauce. Yeah, I was trying to say that. It tastes fine, but, and it has It has more aftertaste than it has taste. So I'm tasting it more now. After I finished, I'm done sipping it for now. So actually, between the two teas, I need to take a little moment and kind of let that happen. You thought it was water? To me, it kind of looks like a white tea. Sometimes does, where it's there's a little bit of yellow. I don't know if you're able to see it, but it's up against my hand. I can see a little bit of yellow, but not much color compared to this one here. It's tasty enough. It's mild, kind of like a mountain, as a mountain apple is to a regular apple. How do you like that tie-in? Yeah, this one has more flavor. It also has more body to it. So, and I think on the second steep, both of these will be more full-bodied. Let me show you what the leaves look like after just that, 30, 40 seconds. It does look like I might have unfairly judged the left one because there's not as much leaf in there, or maybe the leaves just, don't unroll as much, but I'll add a few little more pellets to the left one, to TA, so that it can be on like a more equal volume. But you can see how much they fluffed up just from one very quick steep. Usually the second or third steep is where these types of teas really hit their stride and they have a lot of flavor and aroma. So let's be fair to TA and just add a tiny bit more. I'm not sure which one it is, but both of these teas together have a great aftertaste. Literally just going to add a few more pieces because this will open up and become so much more. So the aftertaste I'm commenting on right now, it's almost like creamsicle. It's like citrusy, but also with that sort of milky, feel to it. It's like kind of like a. But it's not all sweetness. There's also some herbal to it, some floral. And I think the reason I'm saying creamsicle is that maybe the floral aspect of it might be like an orange blossom kind of a flavor, aroma, feeling, effect. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's an effect. So kind of like milky, orange blossomy. Yeah. So in my brain just kind of said creamsicle. With this tea tray, it looks like there's all kinds of room. And there's room on both sides to set things. But if I went ahead and put the tea on the teapots without, up on this flat area, it'd just run off the side because it doesn't all slope inward quite as much as I would like. So what I usually do is move the teapots in just for that purpose and then put them back. I just want to drink more of this one. It's good. Okay, I'm going to put the overflow, the extra that I'm not drinking, into my pitcher over here. And yes, I'm going to mix them both together, just so you can kind of get a feel for what that tea looked like. So that's just the first steeping. Let's do it again. Then we can try some food. So again, this water is not boiling. You could use up to boiling water. It's about 208, 209 degrees, which is pretty close anyway. It's sort of taking its time to pour out because there's a lot of leaf in the way there. Okay, we got it though. Another slight unfairness here is that I think the one on the right, TB, is getting longer steeps because I'm just starting them like 5 seconds apart, and then it's taking me longer than 5 seconds to get to the second one. So I think you're getting slightly longer steeps on the right, but still, it's a pretty big difference in color. Like, I don't think we can just account for it that way. I mean, I think there's definitely the character of the tea is different. That extra 5 seconds or something wouldn't take that long. Oh, hey, Dead Chrome. How are you? Serial, can we get a shout out for Dead Chrome? Is there any other streamers in here that I missed? I know we got Texas Cryptid. Oh, Steeped. Bug Kitten. It's just a random number generator. Oh, thanks for doing that. Yeah, if anyone else is a streamer, let us know. It could be that I'm just not aware. Yeah, it's just a random. It's like how much tea is in you, basically, or coffee, I guess, because you can also steep coffee. Oh, Bug Kitten, you better get busy. Unless it's bedtime, maybe you can't. That's another aspect of this that you got to look out for. It's just for fun. So again, you can see the difference here in the color between A and B. A and B. I feel like an optometrist. A or B. A or B. I'm going to go ahead and sip them in order again because I think the flavor of B is going to be stronger. Yeah, you're welcome to hang out here, Dead Chrome. I'm going to be here for a while. I need somewhere to hang out. Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much what the stream is. That's kind of almost all it is. Yeah, B is darker. So these are, just to catch everybody up, these are basically the same tea grown in the same place. One is fully finished for like the way they would sell it, and the other one is what they call mao cha, which means it's like raw tea. It was picked. And then it hasn't gone through all the processes. And oolong tea is one of the most labor-intensive types of teas. It has the most processes. And so, let me just type mao cha. Mao cha is raw tea. They call it raw. Mao cha means raw tea, and it's just not finished yet. So we're guessing, so far I'm guessing that A is the raw mao cha, and then B is the finished product. And I hope I'm right, but so far this is my third mystery tea challenge from the Mountain Stream Teas subscription box, and my first two were a failure. So the first one, I didn't understand the directions. I didn't remember, that they gave me a clue. And then the second one, I just couldn't tell the difference between the two teas at all. So I failed. Meow cha equals cat tea. Yes, exactly, Bug Kitten. Good one. So I'm leaning towards B as having more flavor, a lot more flavor. I don't know. A kind of has a white tea thing going. It seems a little on the pale side. Right, exactly. That's what I compared it to. Oh, that's a pretty good shot to see the color. It gives off white tea vibes, I guess you could say. It tastes good. The weird thing is that in the package, it was more fragrant. So when I opened these two packages, I've already forgot. This is A and this is B. And I just literally stuck my nose into the package. A was more fragrant and B was less fragrant with the dry leaf. And I'm not sure what the reason for that could be, but it's probably because one of the things that's done in finishing the tea is, even if it's not going to be a roasted tea, they finish it with heat, and that kind of keeps the fragrance inside. It drives off the moisture, so you don't get the fragrance until you steep it in the water. And so A was already giving off fragrance before steeping. Luckily, it was in a sealed package, so it's not gone stale, and it's only from June, too. Or was it May? Anyway, it's very fresh. Let's see, here's the information again. Yeah. Oh, 80% steeped. Yeah, now we're talking, huh? It says one is a beautiful finished oolong from the winter. So the finished one is from the winter season. The other is a fresh, unfinished matcha from a lower elevation that we will roast ourselves. So one was finished back in winter. June is the date of the box. But they didn't actually mention when TA was finished, like when they picked it. At least not yet. We haven't opened the answer package, so maybe it'll say. Well, this is all making my mouth water. That's one of the things about this style of tea, is it does have a little bit of mouth-watering effect to it, the green oolongs. So I'm going to go ahead and try our pastry now. I'm excited. I also kind of hate to ruin it, but that's just part of the deal, right? I have my equipment ready to go. I guess we can start from the white chocolate in, because then if we still look at it this way, I don't know. I'm obsessed with not ruining it. Most excited I've been all year. Oh, wow. Okay. And they say this is a chill stream. This reminds me of a hot dog for some reason. I mean, for I guess an obvious reason. It's also starting to jiggle a lot, so we need to eat it. Maybe stick it back in the fridge. Red Lotus Eric. This is a strawberry tiramisu. It's from my local French bakery. I'm fortunate enough to have an actual sort of French bakery just down the road. And I didn't even know tiramisu could be strawberry, so I kind of asked, what is it? It was firmer than this when I brought it out, but it's always so warm in my living room here in Hawaii that it's starting to jiggle a lot, and I see some little cracks appearing and stuff. So maybe we'll take that blackberry looks like it's about to just jiggle right off of there. So I'm going to take a bite, and you see the cracks that are forming here. Reaches through the screen with a spoon. You do it, Snake Cobretti. So I'm going to go ahead and take my patented tiny fork here, exclusive to the show. And we're just gonna, this is white chocolate, and then you've got berries stuck on the top. And I'm just gonna have, try the end here. This is like a cookie base. Oh, there goes the blackberry. See, we're getting a little soft here. So I think I'm gonna take some and then maybe pop it back in the fridge for a little bit and then bring it back out. I want that plate too oh, the plates are really cute. Yeah. Okay, so as they had told me in the store, this is an orange. It's a ladyfinger soaked in orange syrup. Yeah, he jumped off. I'll see if I can stick it back on, but the whole thing needs to be chilled again. And then there's like, it looks like a strawberry, like, you know, some kind of custard around it or something. And then the bottom here, you've got like a chocolate cake and a chocolate, like a cookie on the bottom. I'm real familiar with that. It seems like they put these two items at the bottom of a lot of their pastries. And then I don't know what this red powder stuff is, but it is like super clingy. Once you get it on the plate, you can't get it off. You had me at strawberry, but kept me at orange. That's kind of when I decided to buy it myself. But the whole thing is getting very soft. So I am going to, and this is a piece of white chocolate. We'll eat up to like here. I'll tell you how it is. But he did say to me, it's not like, you know, your typical coffee and chocolate tiramisu. And it definitely is not. Here's a good shot, kind of. I'll just show you the end of it. I'm not sure if I can show you the end of it without it rolling off the plate. Yeah, it might be powdered. It's like, is it dehydrated powdered strawberry? It's awfully red. It's very dark red. You would choose this over the regular? You know, yeah, I mean, I almost never have tiramisu. But I do like, you know, coffee flavored things. I'm just like shoving this berry back in there. There we go. But you see, I'm just like covered with this red stuff. It looks like a murder has taken place here. I'm murdering this pastry. So far, I'm not getting as much strawberry flavor as I would have expected. Reminds me of a summer fruits pudding. Yeah, I'm just like trying to lick this off my fingers so I don't get it everywhere. Let's have one more bite, and then back in the refrigerator she goes, because this is too smushy. So it's like a mousse. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like a strawberry mousse. You get back up here. So we're going to have to retreat to a cold place. My hands. It's a mess. But if I had eaten it right away, like any normal person, you know, right, we're just going to cover that up. Right out of the fridge. It would probably be great. I mean, texture-wise. That would be really good with the green tea. I just haven't had a chance to put it down, but I think it's going to be really good with this kind of tea. With the oolong tea. Yes. Just cleaning the fork. I actually have a red. So behind the scenes, I have this tea towel that I use for just like wipe up whatever fell on the floor or, you know, things like that. And it's not stainable. So it's even brown on the inside. So I'm just going to like clean up a little bit. Clean my fingers up. And put you guys on hold for just a moment and go pop that back in the refrigerator because it is great, but I'd much rather eat it when it's cold. We have some other sweets and things that are fine in this temperature. Oh, and then I also have something in the freezer. But yeah, it does kind of remind me of a fruits pudding. You know, I'll be honest with you all. I feel like I tasted the chocolate still more than anything. It wasn't really as fruity as I would like, but let me chill it up again. If I might be able to just fit it in the freezer, and we'll chill it up. And I think maybe I'll be able to taste it better. Let me put you on BRB for just a moment. Chocolate and orange, though, not a bad combo. Yeah, it's just more chocolatey than it looks. So I'll be right back. Literally like 30 seconds. Hey there. Oh, now we have Ravel Cat. Is that how you pronounce that? Welcome in. Oh, yeah. Feel free to use all your emotes and whatnot. So I tried to fit it in my freezer. My freezer's actually really full right now. So it's just in the refrigerator, chilling out. And then we'll go on. We can have some other sweets and some other things. I wanted to kind of show you what the leaves are looking like. The tea leaves, that is. So this is tea A. Oh, yeah, there's a few tea balls that didn't open because I just put them in there. But I had a moment to wash my hands, too. So you can kind of see what these leaves look like. Oh, here's a good example right here. Here's a big one. The lid of the Gaiwan is good for trying to see what something looks like. It's like a little plate. Oh, it broke, but you can kind of get a feel for. We had a couple of leaves and a stem in there. But they are they're a little bit soft. Beginner question, but why is the dried tea rolled? Does it automatically roll as it is dried? No, Bug Kitten, it does not automatically roll. It is rolled. It's part of the process. There are other teas that are rolled up into balls as well, or different shapes. There's but oolong is by far the most common type of tea that they process this way. They roll it into a ball. It's for keeping it fresh and not letting the leaves break. Basically, they're much sturdier, in a ball like that. At least that's my understanding of the situation. I can show you a quick. We found a video last week on YouTube, and we were looking at oolong tea rolling and the kind of machine. I think in the past it used to be done by hand. Like you would put them inside a cloth bag and just start like twisting the top of the bag and squeezing it tighter and tighter and tighter. And the leaves would just have nowhere to go other than to roll up, and that's how it was done. But now it's done with a machine, but basically same idea. They still go into a bag, and then the top of the bag is like twisted by a machine. So there's a tremendous amount of like power behind it. I don't think I ever realized how they rolled it. Yeah, let's look at that again. I'll show you the other tea real quick, and then we can go look at that. Okay, one of these was already stuck to the lid, but This one has, again, it's not fair because it's a green lid, but this one has a little bit of browning around the edge of the leaf, so you can see that it's been through the oolong process. The thing that always amazes me is that the large piece of stem that you see here was rolled up into that ball. So now it's unrolled. And like I can feel some areas where it was bent and stuff like that, but it was part of one of those tea balls. And a little end of it might have been sticking out or something, but it was all in there. Welcome to RSI, Population U. What is RSI? I guess I'm ignorant about that. Is it something information? Oh, repetitive strain. Well, you know what? Producing tea is it's a lot. It's a tremendous amount of work. And I'm in huge respect to anybody who does it. I mean, not only is it an agricultural product, right, that has to be produced that way, but then on top of all of that, then you have to, once you get someone to pick the tea, which is also incredibly labor intensive and still across the world mostly done by hand, then you got to process it, and it's a ticking time bomb. Like once you pick it, you have to start processing it right away and basically stick with it, until you at least get to the point of like the one that we're drinking, that's the unfinished tea. But normally they don't stop there, they keep going, right? But it's not like produce where you can just be like, I'll just put it all in the fridge, because the quantity of it is not that sort of, like, you have to start working on it right away. So it's usually kind of a pick it in the morning, and then bring it to the processing place, and then it goes, you're like up until 3 a.m. just going through those initial stages. It's a lot of work. All right, let me just really quickly look on I think it was YouTube. So oolong tea rolling machine. They will show you kind of what that looks like. So there's 2 different things here. There's a one that kind of like rolls the tea, like bruises it a bit and makes it, those little brown edges around the end of the tea, kneading like kneading bread. I'll show you that one first. I think I'll pause the music though, because I think all of these things have their own sound. Okay, so here's this one. Share my screen. Make it big. And then let me know if you can't hear this, but it just actually looks like background noise anyway. But this is the kneading phase. This isn't the rolling into balls phase. This is just the taking the fresh leaf and then sort of like kneading it, bruising it up, softening it so that you can shape it. You see the one in the background is going right now. But in the past, this did also all used to be done by hand. You would just hand knead the tea. And in a really small batch, people still do it by hand. Looks like they're actually trying to sell this machine. Like this is a company that sells these. Here's your demo. So it kind of breaks down some of the fiber in the leaf and releases the, you could call it juices, and also the aroma and the flavor. And I know it looks like it's just mashing the bejesus out of the tea, but it's okay. So that says it's for black, green, or oolong tea. So there's that one. And then we want to see actually like rolling it. Here we go. That'll be more like this. Oops. Well, that's funny because we were going to go to, I was thinking of going to this website earlier, sometime today earlier. Okay, are you ready? It doesn't look like the resolution is that great, but See what this looks like. Oops, sorry. It's a little fuzzy, but I think you can get the idea. So it's in a sack, and then they take the top of the sack and they twist it. And then they're using this machine to just twist it tighter, tighter, tighter. And really put a lot of torque on it. This is how it becomes the actual ball shape. We could use better resolution. And now you have a giant ball full of smaller balls. This is hard work, even with the machine. So you can see it's kind of fluffy, right? It's in there. It's been like, you know, bruised up like with the previous machine that we saw. To me, it's a wonder that any of this, even like that the leaves stay unbroken. It's amazing to me that they don't break. Oh, it's like he put some kind of a guard in there before he like cranks it down. I get a lot of questions about this, so how does it get into balls? So I'm glad to be able to kind of show that. I think you get the idea, right? It's very interesting. And it's a lot of work, even if you're not doing the hand rolling, you know, by hand, the hand rolling process. But that's how it becomes the little balls. Okay, so I think we've steeped this 2 times already. Don't think it was 3. Maybe we're on number 3 or 4. Anyway, oolong teas, they re-steep very, very well. So we've got as many more practically as we could want. So I'm going to give that one like a 10-second head start. But kitten, you're so funny. They are kind of dormant. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, that I was surprised that I could smell one of them so much. Because like there's no hard and fast rule. But usually like a well-finished oolong tea, the fragrance is inside. You may smell something when you open the package, but the more you smell, the more it usually means like moisture's gotten in there, you know, or some heat or something, and it's released some of the fragrance. Like it's basically essentially starting to brew on its own just from the atmosphere. So it's usually not, in the case of oolong tea, it's not the best sign that you can really smell, you know, everything when you just open the dry package. The package of dry leaf. The difference in the color is still very apparent. I know I'm holding this up over a brown table, so it's probably kind of hard to see, but I'll show you in the cup. It's a little easier. They're like Pokeballs, dormant until you pop them open. Dong ding, old mountain master, I choose you. That is so funny. What an image. So A here on the left is not quite, as clear. I mean, it's got more color than it did at first, where we were like, is there anything there? Is it white tea? It's coming a little bit closer to the color of B, but B is still definitely richer. And then the other reason why the ball rolled tea, we call it ball rolled. The only reason why that's so practical is that you can put it into packages like this. Sorry, I don't have like a full package to show you. I do kind of have like a contrast to show you. You can put it into this type of package and then they vacuum seal it, and that takes out even more air. So it's like really tight in there, and that won't break it. If the balls are nice and tight and it's all, finished the way it should be, then you can put it into this kind of package, really suck all the air out, vacuum pack it. The balls are just like even pulling even closer together, but you don't break all your leaves. But if you have a tea that's fluffier, like this oolong tea was not rolled, and it's fluffy, you can't do that. Like you can seal the package, but you can't practically pull all of the moisture out. You can't pull all of the air out, without crushing and breaking the leaves. Here, I'll pour a little bit of this out. We did this one a couple weeks ago, and you can see, even though this is an oolong tea, it's just twisted and it's not rolled into a ball. So there's definitely a place for this kind of oolong. I love it a lot. Most Chinese oolong isn't rolled into balls. Again, that's a gross generalization, but there's a lot more like twisted leaf oolong out there in China, not versus Taiwan. But you can't, if you were to vacuum pack this, you would crush it, right? And so all you can do is just put it in a package and seal it. And so it's inherently, it's harder to keep it fresh that way. So that's a lot of the ball rolling motivation to roll it into balls as well. And there's just different styles for different teas that work better for different teas. But I'm always amazed at the amount that unrolls out of one of the balls. So often you'll have like a big long piece of stem, like you saw just a little while ago, and then up to 4 leaves on it, or 3 leaves in a bud. But anyway, it's like it ends up being like this much of, this long of a piece off the tea plant, and somehow got rolled down into one little ball. So I'm amazed all the leaves don't fall off, with all of the processing, all of the handling that goes on, the kneading and the shaping and the tumbling and this and that. I'm amazed that it doesn't just completely fall apart. But it does make me realize that, the tea leaf is a very sturdy plant. Okay, so the tea, both of these teas are getting, I think, a little bit less sweet in flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and complement that with one of these coconut macaroons. And these are from Costco. They're organic coconut bites, they're called in the store. But really, they're a macaroon. They're just coconut flake, egg, and sugar. Oh, the BLT bar's coming in. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Oh my goodness. How is everyone? Hi there. So welcome. My name is Gail, and how are you guys doing? Trey and Ling, how you guys? What'd you do today? How was your stream? So the BLT bar, they are also food and drink streamers. And I think they sometimes do drink and sometimes food. So I never cook anything on this stream. We eat, but we don't cook so far. But welcome in. So good to see you. And thanks for bringing your friends over here and trusting them to us. So we're doing a side-by-side comparison of, well, we can talk about that in a minute. Two teas picked in the same place, but one is finished and one isn't finished. So it's kind of interesting stuff. Lunaroo 22. Hi, welcome in. Good to see you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Gail, but you can also call me Oolong. That's no problem. That is the name of the channel. And I do live in Hawaii, so I'm earlier than most of you in terms of what time of day it is. And it's still bright outside. And yeah, so we mostly drink tea. It's mostly tea preparation, but there's always food and snacks, and there's always a lot of chatting. And today we were actually talking about the methods that are used to actually prepare and finish tea, because that's a big part of, today's comparison is one tea has gone through all the processes and the other one is, they call it raw tea. So yeah, let's check it out here. I'm going to go back to the table, but I want to read your chats. We were winding down from a fun cocktail challenge, and we actually used a tea as a garnish in the last cocktail. Oh, perfect. Great to see you guys in here. Red Lotus Eric just followed you. Need more food and drink cozy streams of various stripes. Yeah, they drink cocktails. I don't think normally they're much of a tea stream, although I did happen to catch Ling one day, and Ling was doing teas. She was actually doing tea, so that was kind of fun. So anyway, yeah, welcome in, guys. So we have TA and TB. I'm doing them, trying to do them kind of at the same time. It's actually like maybe 10 seconds later on the second one. My fancy pastry got a little too warm in the living room, so after a couple bites, I popped it back in the fridge. Sometimes I do snack streams inspired by oolong. Oh, yeah, we have a lot of snack in here. So let me finish with this steeping of the tea, and we can also, I'll show you the mountain apples, which are these little fruities over here in the corner. They are a tropical fruit that some of you may not be familiar with. So these are teas A and B. You can see there's a big difference in color. This tea subscription box from Mountain Stream Teas in Taiwan, this is their mystery tea pairing for the month. So I don't actually know. I'm just guessing. I've actually failed the first two mystery boxes, either from lack of reading the directions or whatever. Or last week I actually could not tell the two teas apart. So I couldn't. Anyway, it was terrible. I couldn't tell one from the other. They were great, but they both seemed the same to me. But today, it's pretty clear that they are different from each other. And what my guess so far is that TA is the one that's unfinished and hasn't gone through all of its processes. And I was discussing that it released a lot of fragrance as a dry, the dry leaf. When I smelled it, I was like, oh, there's a lot of fragrance coming off. The TB is having a lot more richer flavor. And also, you can see the color is it's kind of different. Yeah. Okay, I got to pause to read your chats here. Lunaroo 22 makes some fantastic custom teas. Oh, maybe you guys could collab sometimes. Do I follow? Oh, Lunaroo, do you stream? Like, is there? I didn't follow you, but I don't know if that's a thing. I'm going to go ahead and just do it, and then we can sort it out later. But yeah, that's an interesting idea. Sipping on some elderberry lemon balm tea with you. Nice. I can give some directions if you want. Oh, on streams to follow. Neat. I don't know if I knew that. Well, thanks for that information. That sounds great. So I'll show you what the teas are for this stream. Or actually, maybe I can just show you the information that came with. That all sounds great. So this is some Mountain Stream Teas is the name of the company. They're in Taiwan, and they are, well, at least I think they are, but the teas are definitely from Taiwan. And I get them very fresh, so I'm pretty sure they're in Taiwan, and they ship directly from there. And they have a subscription box, and each month there's a theme. So this June's box I'm still working on. It is finishing or blending teas. And so today we're on the mystery tea. And it says this month's mystery teas are pretty easy to tell apart, even though they are the same cultivar and grown in the same area. One is a beautiful finished oolong from the winter. The other is a fresh, unfinished mao-cha, which we were discussing earlier means raw tea, from a lower elevation that we will roast ourselves. So it isn't finished. When you try these teas, see if you can pick out all the differences between a fresh, unfinished raw tea and one that has been expertly produced, finished, and left a couple months to come into its own. Both could be labeled as Alishan milk oolong, which is it's the name of the kind of tea. It does not mean there's milk flavoring or milk or anything like that. So we have a T, A, and B here. I've been on streams, but I don't stream myself. Okay. I do have an Instagram for my little tea shop, though, called Full Cup Therapy. Oh, I'll be following you then very shortly, as soon as my hands are free. Well, welcome in, everybody. Let me know if you have any other questions. So far, right from the beginning, it seemed to me that TA is much like lighter in body, lighter in color. It had a lot of fragrance in the package, but once we started brewing it, TB overtook and became a lot more of what I think of as a milk oolong. It has more texture, more flavor. It became more fragrant and more flavorful once it was brewed. And since we're on, I forget if we're on infusion 4 or 5, but we've been doing this for a while. And this sweetness, at first I thought I was describing this tea as almost having like an aftertaste of like a creamsicle. So again, hence the milk moniker. But it also has like a little, it still does when I stop talking. I can taste it. Like when your tongue hits the roof of your mouth, you can taste it. Like a little bit of an orange blossom kind of a flavor. And then also the milky texture kind of says to me like creamsicle. Yeah. Thank you so much. Your stream is so lovely. I think if I did do my own streams, they would be a lot like yours. Oh, thank you, Luna Brew. Well, that's a huge compliment because, what everybody streams, I think is kind of their, it should be, let's just say it should be what you want to do and not what you think other people want you to do. Like, I really believe that. So anyway, the sweetness of the tea is calming down a bit. So just when you guys came in, I was just about to have one of these coconut macaroons that I got at Costco, and they're called coconut bites, but they really are, focus. They really are like a macaroon. They have coconut flakes, sugar or corn syrup or something, and egg whites, and really not much else. So I was just thinking that, like I said, the tea is tasting a little bit less sweet, a little bit more like almost more like a green tea kind of flavor to it, and I thought it would be good with something a little sweeter now, so that's what I'm having. There, I'm gonna get a good focus on there. I love coconut. I've been living in Hawaii since 2006 and I'm still not tired of it. Not like you can't get coconut everywhere, but there's a lot of it here. I have not shown the freezer goodie, so it's about time, I think, since I had to put my fancy French pastry in the fridge. It was literally falling apart in front of us. It was a strawberry tiramisu, like a log shape with berries stuck on the top. Very beautiful. But it was just, it's warm here in Hawaii. It's not hot like other parts of the country, but it's still warm and humid enough that certain things, when I leave them on my table, they get, the warmth and or humidity just really gets to them. So that mousse that was mostly made of was getting like downright jiggly. So I had to pop it back in the fridge. I'll take a few more sips here and then, we can go get the freezer. And believe me, the freezer goodies are nothing fancy, but they are something that I've been eating every day. So I thought I could share them with you guys so you can see. So again, this light one is TA. It's still pretty and everything, but it's very light. It does remind me of more of a white tea. It's good though. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, but having them side by side, you can really, sort of see and taste the difference. Just finishing off my little tasting cups here. These are actually quite large for tasting cups, but they're great for seeing the color because you get a little bit of a depth to the tea. You know, it's deep enough in here that you can really see the color. Hate to raid and dash, but we've got a little bit of cleaning to do. We hope the rest of the stream goes well for you. Thank you, Ling, and thank you, Trey, if you're there. I totally understand how that is. Finishing up a food and drink stream, not only do you have to put your stream stuff away, you have to put your food stuff away, or your drink stuff. In this case, you got dishes to do. It's a whole thing. So I totally understand. Enjoy your lurk, and thanks for bringing your friends over. I'm just cleaning my cups a little bit because they are very fingerprinty. Okay, I'm going to put you guys on Be Right Back just for a very short moment because my freezer's just across the room from here, but I cannot reach it from here. So let me go get that, the freezer treats, and I'll be back in just a moment. I won't even bother putting you in emote mode, so be good. I'll be right back. Okay, that was quick, right? I actually only brought over one freezer treat because they would probably melt. But at least I can kind of show you what I've been enjoying in this hot, relatively hot summer that we're having. And that is these. You got it, Costco. So the first time Mr. Oolong wanted to buy these, I was like, sure, whatever. There's 35 of them. As you can see, they're very small. And they're Freezy Pops, Super Fruit Freezy Pops. They are organic, USDA organic. And they weren't very expensive. I forget. I think it was like $10 for 35 of them. I don't have the pack. They just come in like a bag. And they're not frozen when you buy them, but you just put them in the freezer. And I was like, well, I mean, it's a better, he could be eating worse snacks, right? Kind of like, sure, why not? And we eat these every day now. Like, they're so refreshing. We go out for a walk or something. We come back. We're like, I want a popsicle. Or after dinner, sitting around, I want a popsicle. And they're actually, I think, for kids. They're pretty small. And like I said, I don't have the package in front of me, but they are not sweet. They're just like juice. So this is a strawberry lemon, sort of in keeping with our strawberry theme. There's also mango orange, which is really good. And the other one is blueberry, blueberry acai or blueberry pomegranate. I think it's blueberry acai because I don't really care for it as much. I don't know. I'm just not an acai fan. Not sure why that is. But anyway, these are great. And I'll just have one right now. So, you just throw the whole bag in the freezer, or I guess if you just wanted to freeze some of them, you could do that, which is what I thought we were going to do. But he just threw the whole bag in the freezer, and we're on our second bag. And I'm just gonna, it says tear here, but I'll tell you what, it just doesn't really tear there. I've not experienced it tearing right. So I just cut it either with a knife or with scissors. It cuts very easily. And then you have this little end piece that you get to eat. I'm already refreshed. Oh, that's my kettle. I added some more water to it. So this is the strawberry lemon, and you just push it up. You know, it's just a push pop or whatever, but it's really good. And I just didn't know if anyone had ever seen these. I had never heard of them before, but I'm probably just going to sit here and eat them, or eat a whole one. I always hold it in a napkin or something because it will freeze your hand. I can go ahead and brew the tea again, do another steeping while I'm eating this. But, you know, you just push it. You guys all know how freezer pops work, I'm sure. But these are just really good, and they're really simple. The first time I ate the mango orange flavor, I swear it tastes like it has maple syrup in it. And I don't know why, and it does not. But there's some kind of a flavor going on, probably with mango. Mango has a very complex flavor, and for whatever reason I can even not be thinking about it and then, you know, have it and go, oh, there's that maple flavor again. It's kind of strange. Only problem is you can't really talk while you're eating ice, you know. And here I'm saving off the excess tea so I don't drink all of it. It's a lot that I'm preparing. The first time I tried actual mango, I remember thinking that it was like peach mixed with pine. Blueberry, that's a good, yeah. There's definitely that extra dimension, right? It's like, it's really hard to describe. It's like the sweetest peach you ever had, right? It's like overwhelmingly, I mean, I still like it, but it's almost overwhelmingly sweet. But also floral, but also sort of herbal, or it's just hard. Tropical fruit can be like that. Like I got to eat another one of these mountain apples for you guys, but it's very hard to describe all the extra flavors, the additional flavors that you don't really expect. And yeah, there's all added dimensions to tropical fruits that are like, am I eating a flower right now, or what's going on here? Guess that's why they call them exotic. Peach mixed with pine, though. I could see that. But I'm still not sure where the maple syrup flavor came from. Because that flavor, those are just mango orange. But I guess it tastes like a tree a little bit. I'm waiting for my water to come back up to temp. Let me see if I can find these online. These DB's Organics. DEEBEE Organics. Organics. Oh my gosh, stop. There, it says Specialty Foods, TEA. Superfruit freezer pops. Here they are. Oh, you can buy them on Instacart. Anybody who cares about that. Just wanted to see if they have the ingredients. Here we go. Another screen capture moment. Although, yeah. Can we make this larger? So here's what they are. It's a little fuzzy, but it's organic white grape juice, apple juice, strawberry puree, lemon juice, some juice concentrate, organic guar gum, and flavor. So basically, there's not like a lot of... Oh, it is blueberry pomegranate. Those are the 3 flavors, and each one only has 25 calories. That's what I can't believe. So these are the ones. And they're much better than I expected. I was like, oh, they're just kids, you know. Kids' snacks. My evening snack is some blueberry Belvita crackers. Oh, those are good, aren't they, Red Lotus Eric? Oh, this is melting already, so I'm going to go ahead and keep eating on it. I mean, I was very much behind the 25 calories idea. Ooh. You know how hard it is to talk with ice in your mouth? Oh my goodness. But yeah, Belvitas are pretty good, aren't they? So yeah, this is melting as we speak. I feel all this juice in the bottom. Usually, you know, I just focus on eating one when I'm eating it. Usually watching TV or something. Well, there's like a whole layer of different colored juice in here. I don't know if that's the strawberry part or what that is. Okay, we're gonna go double-handed here. So what we used to do, and just haven't gotten around to it before, is like make juice ice cubes, and we have like a little ice shaving machine. But we also have a pretty powerful blender that I'm sure could handle it as well. It even has like a, let's see, it's from the Instant Pot company. I forget what they call it, but it even has a setting for frozen treats or something, frozen dessert. So it's fine. It's perfect for grinding up ice. We just need to make the ice. But in the meantime, we have these. And I do like the fact that it's a small size. I mean, it's funny that it's a kid's treat. You know, if we're feeling like we really want more, we'll have a second one. But they're very satisfying, just one. So that was the freezer surprise. Not too fancy. I guess I warned you. And after I pour this out, I'll show the mountain apples again, because we probably have some folks who have not ever seen those before. This tea in particular has almost outgrown this gaiwan, but that's very typical of those ball rolled oolong teas. Those of you who were here earlier, you saw me put in just a little bit in the bottom of the gaiwan, and you know, it was just like, I usually eyeball it, and it's just enough little tea balls to cover the bottom, and then maybe another half a layer or just a few more on top of that. So not even a double layer. And this is what you get, is basically a full cup of leaves. But for the short steeps that we do, it's the right amount of tea. You want a lot of leaf in there in proportion to water. And then you just steep it for a short time. So I guess that's a piece of advice I can give to anybody who's kind of new at tea and is wondering, like, why doesn't my tea taste good? Why don't I have enough, you know, my tea doesn't have enough flavor? And they'll steep it for a long time in you know, in the hopes of trying to wring some more flavor out of it. But what you actually want to do is use more leaf and then less time. That's just kind of what I tell everybody. More tea, less time. or less water, you know. More tea in proportion to the water and less time. Okay, TA has gone over the side, over the over the hill. Last week I was talking about how the steeping is kind of like a curve, you know. So TA has gone around the bend a little bit, where it's still good, but it's getting to be on the bitter side. It's more of the green notes, the herbal notes, the vegetable, you know, and slight bitterness of like a green herb. And less of all the other qualities that we were talking about earlier, like the aftertaste and the fragrance, and the, you know, it's kind of gone over into almost like green tea territory. I'm sure we could continue to steep it for almost as long as we wanted to, but that's kind of where we're at as far as the results. And B is lasting longer. And again, this has got to be the finished tea. It's got to be. I'll open the... I need to open the package before we finish stream. Somebody remind me if I don't. B still has a better aftertaste. It's still sweeter than it, you know, it's that sweetness is lasting longer. It seems like it would be the finished tea. Yeah, it's got, you know, the color and everything. It's very round, like in its feeling. And this one has gone over, like I said, I wouldn't turn this down. It's not bad or anything. It doesn't taste bad. It's not like horribly bitter or anything.